Johnny, dust that computer off. Dust your computer off. Look at all that dust.
No.
God.
It's kind of like washing your car.
I was gonna say that was
Wash your car and
why you flying.
what you see it does? Now y'all don't be knocking on the stuff, man.
Johnny, dust that thing.
What? Coat? Jacket sleeve? I don't think so.
They got a dust
Over there?
Excuse me. There's no trouble in the world, man. You start up more. Please, man. How you doing tonight? I'm taking it
I'm gonna come out of the shirt and I'm gonna tell you. I've been enough for several people. I'm joking, but it's good business. So, Joshua. You gotta break in that temperature. I might get a few minutes ready.
the next county
Where does he get it? Out of North Carolina. Is that another company in North Carolina, Georgia. Okay, that's Georgia. Okay. I was curious because the lady that was doing it, I thought it was her because it didn't come but there's one of the kids that has two horses in the carriage for but I had not seen the hearse as such.
You might have to change seats if it was, because I think every time that she was eating, I was going
I hadn't seen it.
yeah, I said, I knew it was coming to an end.
Because I asked
because he doesn't want to sit next to me.
I'll take the book for you.
I did it for my brother.
So next you understand? Go in and right. They ain't go through the kitchen? No, it's not door in the kitchen. How'd they get to it?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the same.
You joined the meeting?
No, we're not gonna do that.
You got to go out, come back in again.
Go out, come back.
You go to that one. Authenticated, just authenticate. Did you join the meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
It wasn't here, it was coming.
Go down a little bit. Go down.
What are we doing?
Did you join the meeting up here?
Okay.
Did you join it from the beginning?
Yes.
You get your stuff off.
You didn't join it that way, or go out and come back in again?
Do I need to go out and come out?
Yes, sir. No, you don't have to shut it
You go a little harsh.
Yeah, so you need to join the meeting.
So is there a reason to let it go tomorrow morning?
I think it didn't come back up.
Harvey, well, never mind.
Where did it go?
Should be able to just touch it.
It's really interested in the jazz festival.
They're still doing the same thing.
Son is
Sherry, join.
Still doing the same thing. Hey,
we ended up taking 2 more days for them to go up there. That's what she used. Don't have a reason, just have an excuse. You know, your main place is funny. You can't
Thank you. May we come to order for meditative thought, please. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is held in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act. The news media has been notified and a copy of the agenda has been made available to the public. The mission of the Sumter School District is to equip students to be responsible, successful, and productive citizens in a global society. And our vision is the Sumter School District develops and cultivates competitive students who embrace diversity, act responsibly, and contribute publicly to society. It is my pleasure to welcome each of the board members to this meeting. I know many of you have been on vacation and enjoying summer refreshment. It's great to have you. It's good to have the public here tonight. As I came in, my mind went back a few years ago. There was a movie I just loved titled, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Well, the question tonight is, guess who has come to serve as superintendent of this district? There is a new face in the place. Dr. Penelope Martin Knox, we'd like to welcome you. And we'd like to welcome each of you, and we pray that this session tonight will be a victorious one for us all. A quorum is established. All of the members are present with the exception of the military representative. The agenda is before us. If there are no objections, the agenda will stand approved. Objections once, twice, 3 times. The agenda is approved. Public participation. Would like to welcome 3 persons who have signed up to address us tonight. Each participant will be allotted an appropriate time not to exceed 3 minutes. You are reminded that you are not to refer to anyone by name. I'll call on Aaron Burrows.
Hey, how are all you guys? My name is Aaron Burrows. My son is a rising 5th grader at Kingsbury Elementary. Previously, before that, he attended private school. Due to family needs and everything, we applied for open enrollment at Kingsbury Elementary School due to them having the PERK program. The schools that we're zoned for didn't offer that at the time. I actually had family and everything in the area that were able to help me in picking him up from school, getting him to different activities and everything. And again, with my husband being on the road, not being home during the week, it was just me by myself with a newborn baby. So the PERK program at Kingsbury, it really helped me to be able to work, because normally I don't get off work until 5, 6 o'clock. We found out last Monday that the program would be closing, the PERK program would be closing at Kingsbury Elementary. And that was just by chance that we found that out, just happened to be speaking to a lady who runs it. It just creates a lot of difficulty, and I feel like I'm speaking on behalf not only myself, but of the other 53 students and parents that attend the PERK program at Kingsbury Elementary. It's a big inconvenience for a lot of parents who depend on this. And I know that other programs are available to pick the kids up and take them to school, but a lot of parents, they can't afford that. And then it just creates a month before school starts, we find this out. And I haven't even been formally addressed with it with a letter, a phone call, or anything. Like I said, it was just by chance that I found it out. And I'm assuming a lot of parents are going to be just as upset as I am right now when they find out, if they do receive a phone call or a letter, when they attend open house at Kingsbury and find that the PERK program is no longer there. What are they going to do? School starts on Monday and registration is on Friday. And then it just disrupts a lot of parents and the kids and everything. And I felt like this is the first time I've ever been to a board meeting, but I felt like this is something that I'm passionate about and it needs to be addressed without just closing the program down, just point blank, we're not going to have it anymore. I don't know the reason for closing the program, so I would like to find out more about that. Is my time up?
Just about.
Okay.
20 seconds.
Okay, well, anyways, I would just like to find out more about why the program is closing. I know that the facility and stuff has been thrown around and everything, but this is a program that we paid for. So I'm just kind of wondering, like I said, I feel like I'm speaking for myself and on behalf of the other 52, 53 families that attend.
Thank you very much, Ms. Barnes, for your comments. If there's anything additionally you'd like to say, if you put it in writing, we'd be glad to receive it, okay? All right. Our second, I guess coincidentally, the second person name is Aaron as well. Aaron Barnes and now Aaron McLeod.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm not a public speaker, so I'm gonna keep this short. Come here tonight, kind of basically to reiterate what Ms. Burrows said. Monday last week, I found out that the PERK program was gonna be closed at Kingsbury. It's not really gonna work, you know, for my family situation. I work, you know, sometimes 50, 60 hours a week. I work in surgery. It's hard to pick my kids up. It's hard to, you know, disrupt him and move him to another school. And we really rely on this program, you know, for our child. My husband works in Columbia. He's been at Kingsbury since preschool, and, you know, he's going into the 4th grade this year. And because of this program closing, we're gonna have to, you know, basically totally switch his school, disrupt his life, move him from his friends, you know. And I'm sure that there are other, like, you know, daycares and facilities in Sumter, but why should I disrupt my child's life when I'm paying for a service? And I just want to know, you know, where the money has went and why this service is no longer available, because it was never brought to our attention as parents. And I feel like that we should have been involved in these decisions that were made for our children, because basically it does affect every child that's going to these programs. I was informed that they're closing the program at Croswell also. You know, so children that go to Croswell, Kingsbury, they are going to keep them open, I think, at Millwood and Alice Drive. But, you know, that's not, those are 2 schools. When you have them at all these schools in the district, you have 2 schools available. The kids that aren't zoned for those schools can't go to those programs. You know, I just think it's sad that we have to change everything at this short of notice. You know, I've been scrambling this week trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Are we gonna, you know, switch schools? Are we gonna try to do an after-school program with one of the companies in Sumter? Try to, you know, find out what we're gonna do. And he, you know, he's upset, and I'm gonna, you know, come and obviously talk and speak for my child. So, that's really all I can, you know, say. So like I said, this is first board meeting, and I've got a little, you know, just something to reiterate what we have going on. So I'll pass it out to each one of y'all, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much, Ms. McLeod. Dr. Williams.
Good evening, everyone. I am Brenda Williams, retired physician in Sumter, representing the Family Unit Incorporated. Just a couple of things I wanted to mention. I wanted to mention what the young ladies just mentioned, Mrs. Burris and Mrs. McLeod. Several folk have come to me because they know that the Family Unit speaks out on issues trying to help families. Several folk came to me just in the past week and a half about the closure of schools, and it came as a shock to me because I come to all of the board meetings. I come to about 99.999% of board meetings and stay for 5 and 6 hours, and I never heard about the closure of St. John Elementary School's daycare. I never heard of it. It was never discussed in public. It's an insult to the community to have schools closed down, and the community doesn't know anything about it, not unless those things are discussed in executive session and we know nothing about it. The school in Shallow community closed down, and a Sumter school district employee had a meeting with the staff of that school and told them June 6th, everybody pack up and leave this building because the school is closed. Daycare, senior citizens, Girl Scouts met there, adult education people met there, and everything was shut down on June 6th, and nothing was discussed at all in the Sumter School District meetings, at all. So that's a shock. The PERK program, Mrs. McLeod called me. I was so happy. Mrs. Burris also contacted me on the fact that the PERK program was closed down. And in our attempts to reach the person who's over the PERK program for the Sumter School District, that attempt failed because the voice machine was full. Her assistant's voice machine was full. An email sent last week hadn't been answered yet, so we want to know who made that decision to end the PERK program. It was never discussed here. Who made the decision to close St. John Elementary School daycare? Was it a one-sided decision? It should have never been. So we want to stop the secretness of behind closed doors, that executive session discuss personnel matters only, and other matters come to the public with it. Thank you very kindly.
Thank you very much, Dr. Williams. In a very timely fashion, this board will respond to your comments in writing. Board communications point 3.0, announcements 3.1. Any announcements, board members? Committee reports?
Mr. Chairman, the Finance Committee is tentatively scheduled to meet Thursday, August the 1st at 9 a.m.
Mr. Chairman, the Policy Committee, we'll let you know when the Policy Committee is scheduled a meeting. It'll be very soon.
Okay. Any other reports? Dr. Jackson, 3.3 legislative update.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Canning. The legislative update will be provided later, a timely report. Thank you.
I suspect there's not a whole lot going on in Columbia at this time. Okay, thank you very much. Number 4, the superintendent's report, the first report of our new superintendent.
So good evening. Thank you, Chairman Canty. Welcome to all of our community who have joined us this evening. I just want to take the opportunity to let you know that I'm just so excited to be here in the Sumter community and to share this journey with you as we continue to provide the best for our children here in Sumter. I can say that the reception that I've received has been very inviting and warm, and I expect and hope for it to continue that way. Thus far, I've had the fortunate opportunity to visit at least 23 of our schools, having face-to-face meetings with all of our principals and some of them who've joined us this evening. And I can say just my interaction with them alone has made me even more excited to continue this pathway for the 1920 school year. So I just want to thank our principals, our facilities persons, our groundskeepers, because our buildings are being prepared for our children as we eagerly await their arrival in August. So thank you to our leaders, to our facilities, to our custodial staff for really preparing our buildings to receive our children in August. Just a reminder to our principals, we've sent out a reminder of school safety. Although we are in the summer hours and summer months, we must always maintain safety of our facilities and of ourselves. And beginning effective immediately, when you visit the Board of Education, please be reminded that those protocols that we have put in place for our schools will also be in place here at the office. So all visitors are expected to go to the front door and to sign in prior to attending your appointment that you have scheduled. In the spotlight, there are several events that have taken place over the summer, so I wanted to take the opportunity to say thank you to our sponsors and to our children for doing a wonderful job in representing Sumter School District. So for example, Millwood Elementary School was recognized by the SREB, which is the Southern Regional Educational Board, as a winner of the Outstanding Elementary School Award at their annual conference, coincidentally in Baltimore, Maryland. Just to let you know, I was not there for that event. The school won the award after implementing a research-based literacy practice initiative from the Association in Social Studies and in English Language Arts. The initiative has also been implemented in the school's science classes and across various schools, grade levels. So kudos to Millwood Elementary and your sponsor for such a wonderful job. I had the fortunate opportunity the other evening to sit down with a very lovely young man who's a rising senior from Crestwood High School, Mr. Travis Johnson. If you have not met him, please take the opportunity to congratulate him. Travis has been selected as the National President for Future Business Leaders of America. There was a conference that was held in San Antonio, Texas, where Travis had to present a speech to vie for his position in front of 13,000 people. And when he presented, of course, he received an overwhelming accolades from the community that he was presenting to, and he was actually chosen and selected to be the president and representing Sumter, might I add, in a professional manner. So Travis, if you're watching, kudos to you and kudos to your sponsors and to Crestwood High School. And finally, this summer, we also had Caden Burns and Mary Gilroy from Alice Drive Middle School, their principals, joining us this evening as they join other outstanding middle school students from across the nation in a unique academic and career-oriented experience. The National Youth Leadership Forum Explore STEM program at Wake Forest University has served more than 800,000 students in more than 145 countries, with programs designed to help students develop the leadership, scholarship, and career needs necessary to succeed in today's competitive college and career landscape. So as you can see, although school may have concluded, learning never stops. So thank you to all of our leaders, again, our students, for the wonderful job that you're doing and for really making Sumter strong. So thank you again to our board for your warm reception, and I look forward to a great school year.
Thank you very much, Madam Superintendent. Item 5 on the agenda, executive session. There are several matters come before this board this evening, and there is a need for an executive session. Is there a motion from a board member for that purpose?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we enter into executive session for the discussion of property contractual matters and personnel reports, employment, appointment, compensation, promotion, demotion, discipline, and/or release of an employee.
Second.
The motion is made and supported that we enter into executive session for purpose of discussion of property contractual matters, personnel report, employment, appointment, compensation, promotion, demotion, discipline, and/or release of an employee. You may vote your pleasure. Nine yeas, no nays, the motion carries. We will enter into executive session for an undetermined amount of time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your presence.
Harvey?
Is ready for joining.
Am I joining? Fine. Yeah. Okay. All right.
You I'm down there. We all here, all right? Supposed to be up here. Oh. And that's related to the personnel report. Where you at? No. See, I'm down here. That's where I'm at. You in post? That's So you
Yeah, I'm finna go back there
I
now.
appreciate you wanting to see me, Pat. It makes me feel
That's where I'm
special.
at now, but
I didn't know you loved me so much.
any action? Motion to approve.
Things getting better on the Pat, don't you think?
First. Something ain't took off, Action required. Gotta be updated. Motion of leave pursuant as its current location.
If there are no objections, we will return to open session. Objections once, twice, 3 times, we're in open session. 7.2, personnel report. Madam Superintendent, is there a recommendation?
I would like to make a recommendation that we approve the personnel report that was discussed in closed executive session.
Mr. Chair, I'd like a motion to approve the superintendent's recommendation for the personnel report.
Second.
Motion and supported that the recommendation of the superintendent pertaining to the personnel report be approved. Is there any discussion? If there is no discussion, you may vote your pleasure. So it's a unanimous vote. 9 yeas, no nays. The vote carries. Mr. Chairman, Personnel Committee, what's your recommendation, sir?
Policy committee.
I mean, Policy Committee, thank you. What did I say?
Personnel committee, sir.
Oh, well, you do it all sometime. But tonight is policy, all right?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion first that I'd like to make a motion to approve second reading on policies ADC, that's Tobacco Free School District, policy GBED, Tobacco Free Workplace, policy IKA-R, Grading Assessment System, policy IKF, Graduation Requirements, and policy JICG, Tobacco Use by Students.
Is there a second to?
Second.
The recommendation from the chair is a motion, so it's seconded. Any discussion? If none, we will proceed to vote.
Mr. Ed, can you do it again? It had you marked out present for some reason.
All right, could we revote?
Oh, revote?
Yeah, something.
Thank you.
It's a unanimous vote. 9 yeas, no nays. It carries. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to pull policy. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to postpone indefinitely policies BDE, Board Committees, and Board Policy BDE-R, Board Committee Policy.
Second.
Yeah, that's our policy.
Recommendation becomes a motion from the chair. It is seconded. Is there any discussion? If there is none, you vote your pleasure. Item 8 on the agenda, the consent agenda. 8.1, approval of the consent agenda.
With no objection. It's approved with no objections.
With no objections. Once, twice, 3 times. 8.2, minutes June 10th and 27th.
That is the consent agenda. Yes, sir, that is the consent agenda.
Yeah, no, we told that, all right. Item number 9, closing a meeting, and we shall adjourn unless there are objections. None? Objections once? Twice? 3 times. We're adjourned. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us tonight. Have a good night.